start yung semester ay at least alam na natin yung gagawin, and at the same time, ma-welcome na rin kayo dito sa group na to. Kasi in my experience, pag nag-start tayo dun sa start mismo ng semester, medyo malaki-laking oras yung masasayang. And since remote naman tayo, so we decided na mag-start na ng orientation for the group, and at the same time, start na rin yung SP orientation. So we would like to welcome you all to this orientation SRG as our group, and for the SP and thesis orientation. So that will be all for the welcome remarks, Mamiya. So ano yung next item natin? Next item is self-introduction, no? So siguro kilala niyo na naman kami. So, Mamiya, ako, saka si Ma'am Bethel. Pero kayo, hindi namin kayo masyadong kilala kasi ano lang tayo, over the internet lang tayo nag-uusap. So, yung next section ng program natin ay a brief introduction about yourself. Self-introduction ba? Okay, so your name, tapos, kasi parang as a group tayo dito and parang peers, so we must at least know everyone. Okay, so pasensya naman, merong cricket sa pusa kayo naririnig sa audio ko. So tawagin ko na lang kayo one by one based dun sa participants list ko. Tapos please introduce yourself. Sino yung advisor nyo sa SRG, and ano yung siguro anong province nyo. Tapos ano yung interested topic kayo para sa inyong SP. So isa-isahin ko na lang kayo to base sa aking participants list. Una dito sa akin ay si
on-cam sila.
Abigail.
Hello. Wala pong cam. I'm Abigail Nadua, taga Cavite po ako. Yung advisor ko po ay si Ma'am Bethel. Ano pa yun?
Topic.
Right now, interested po sa database security or encryption.
Okay. Thank you, Abigail. So yun yung nickname niyo siguro. Basta we will call you by your nickname na lang siguro.
Abi na lang po.
Abi? Okay, Abi.
Yes.
Next in my list is Angela. Angela Beatriz.
Hello. Ayan.
I can hear you.
Ayun, so Angela Beatriz Javier po. From Muntinlupa City, and advisor ko si Sir Chuck. In terms of topics, I'm leaning towards, may idea na po ako pero related sa apps. Pero tinatry ko pa rin mag-isip ng related sa web security.
Okay. Thank you. Ano yung nickname mo?
Dea po.
Dea. Okay,
Opo.
Dea. Okay, Dea. Next is Bien. Bien Christian, you're next. No audio. You have no audio. Wala pa rin audio. Nakamute kaya.
Hello.
Yeah,
Hello.
great.
Ayun. So, hi. Ako po si Bien Christian B. Custodio. Taga Cavite po, GMA Cavite. Naniniwala sa kasabihan. Hindi, joke. Advisor po si Ma'am Bethel. Tapos, when it comes to topics, I'm leaning towards cybersecurity. Hindi ko pa po alam yung specifics, pero may idea na po kung ano yung gusto kong planong gawin for my SP.
Okay.
Ayun lang po.
Ano yung nickname mo?
Bien na lang po.
Bien. Okay, Bien. So next, thank you, Bien. Next, Carl Vincent.
Hello po.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello po. Ako po si Carl Vincent from
Nice.
Quezon Province, Laguna po. Pero currently nasa Calauan, Laguna po ako. And ang advisor ko po si Sir Jack. And ang wala pa po akong topic in mind, pero siguro po interested po ako sa security po na concerning yung web po development. So pwede po yung database or yung networking po, either of those po. Yan po. And nickname Bullet po.
Ano yan?
Bullet.
Bullet. Bala.
Yes po.
Okay, Bullet. Okay, thanks, Bullet. Next, Jess. Jess. Hindi siya nakakapagsalita. Jess po, taga Paranaque. Topic po wala pa pong maisip pero interested po sa security. Okay, so nickname mo ay Jess. Okay, thank you, Jess. Kung hindi ka makapagsalita, next, John Joseph, kapangalan ko.
Hello po, rinig po. Hi, I am John Joseph Makalalad po. JJ na lang po yung nickname po.
JJ.
Ang advisor ko po ay si Mamia, the one and only. Currently po, nasa San Mateo Rizal po ako, and yung topic ko po, wala pa po siyang specific, although leaning towards po ako sa field ng robotics. Yun lang po. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, JJ. Next, John Michael.
Hello. Hello po. Pasensya na po, wala akong camera, baka po ma-disconnect ako. I'm John Michael Tugay from Muntinlupa, and yung magiging soon to be advisor ko po ay si Ma'am Mia, since pwedeng pa po yung change of advisor, and
Di pa official.
pero po yung topic is wala pa pong structure na topic, pero more on AI and language learning. Yun lang po.
Ano mo, JM? Yung nickname mo, malamang JM.
Miko po yung nickname.
Miko. Okay. So, Miko. Okay, sino pa ba hindi ko natawag? Michael Jaire.
Hello. Good afternoon po. Ako si Jaire, yung nickname ko. And advisor ko po is si Ma'am Bethel. I currently reside po in Cabuyao, Laguna. Tapos, ang topic ko po, wala pa din po akong specific, pero I'm looking into automation tools when it comes to DevSecOps po.
Okay. Okay, great. Thank you, Jaire. Next, Robbie.
Hello po sir. Robbie A. Carlos po from Manila. Ang advisor ko po si Sir Jack, and I'm currently leaning towards network security po. Okay po. Yung nickname ko po is Robbie.
Okay, Robbie. Thank you, Robbie. So yun, sana matandaan nyo yung pangalan ng mga ka-groupmate nyo, kasi sa experience namin, mas maganda kung meron kayong makakausap habang nag-ESP kayo. So, at least meron kayong peers, tapos meron kayong advisors. So, essentially parang halos lahat kami dito ay pwede magbigay ng advice sa inyo or ideas sa inyo gagawin na SP. So, thank you for your self-introduction. Our next item is Ma'am Bethel, ano next item natin?
Mamia, pa-next po ng slide.
Mag-slide na tayo. Okay. So,
Parang bumagal yung connection ko, sir. Nag-update po ba yung slide?
Nag-update. Nasa overview na tayo. Okay. So, bali yung orientation natin will be divided into two parts. And i-divide namin yung presentation namin base dun sa division na ng slides. Isang slide lang yung gagamitin namin, isang slide set. So, yung first part, ako yung nakatoka. And This will be a brief overview, basically a welcoming to SRG and SRG guide to ComSci 19 PM or ComSci 200. So bali yung SRG is called Systems Research Group. Next slide please, Mamiya. Next slide please, Mamiya. Okay, so you see here the picture that this is from a conference that we attended, yung team, kasama ko sila Mia, si Ma'am Berna, Perico, Ma'am Ja, Ma'am Betel, everyone. Okay, so, a brief introduction of SRG. Pasan ba yung SRG? So, sa ComSci, meron tayong tatlong categories. We have theory, applications, and systems. So, ang focus natin dito is systems. So, ano yung mga subjects na nakakover ng systems? We have ComSci 132, which is architecture. So, yung ALUs, control unit, how they work, okay? Pipelining, etc. ComSci 125 OS, okay? And then ComSci 137 network. So, yun yung focus na ng group na to. For other topics, yung theory halimbawa, it will involve 123, 141, and 142. So kung interested kayo doon, may mga faculty members din na interested doon sila. Sir Arian, Sir Jimmy, Sir JM. Sa application, ito yung medyo common kasi kumbaga halos lahat. Ito yung parang somehow practical, no? Practical topics like ComSci 100, web programming, ComSci 127, database, and ComSci 180, siguro parallel programming kung yun yung ginawa niya sa ComSci 180. But our focus is on systems. So, kumbaga medyo low level, pero hindi naman super low level na hardware. Next slide please, Mamiya. Okay, so what is systems? So systems is the study of the design, implementation, such as compilers, databases, and networks, operating systems. Topics include hardware, software interface, networking stack, digital architecture, memory models, optimization, concurrency, privacy, security, distributed, and large systems, and many other things that are related to the operation of systems. So kasi, halimbawa, yung web programming, gumagawa ka ng app, dinideploy mo yung app, you don't care about the infrastructure, basta na-deploy mo na yung app mo ay nagagamit na ng user mo. So yung sa systems, ano yung underlying infrastructure kung saan nag-run yung app mo. So yun yung basically yung original, yung main focus ng systems research group. Next slide please. So yeah, just some itemization, no? SRG Systems Research Group, group more than one. Traditionally, ang interaction lang ng undergrad ako, no? Actually, nung undergrad ako, halos 2 beses na ako ipakita sa advisor ko. Proposal, tapos yung presentation na. Kasi, ganun yung setup eh. So, naisip ko na kailangan siguro ng group para merong peers halimbawa and motivate yung bawat member ng group. Saka magkaroon din ng discussion para mas maganda yung mga ideas. So, I started this group in 2010. So, that was 11 years ago. Okay? So, medyo bata-bata pa ako noon. And the idea is to somehow develop parang dojo kung saan yung mga estudyante hindi lang basta-basta gagawa ng app and then tapos na agad. So, parang dojo to na parang may 1 year kayo na will train you with some activities that might be useful or that will be actually useful for you in the future in addition to the technical knowledge na nakukuha niya sa mga common subjects, sa mga subjects. So, no, yung presentation skills, teaching skills, because some of you might actually teach in the future or become researchers or enroll in graduate programs. Next slide please, Mia. Please reserve your questions later. We have a Q&A question. Right? So vision to become the top research group in computer systems in the Philippines, basically. So karamihan ng mga systems research ay usually sa engineering nangyayari, but we'll try, ang focus na natin is yung OS networks at security. So yun yung ating vision. Malayo pa tayo doon kasi this is usually measured in terms of the number of researchers, publications, etc. And the mission is basically to advance these topics that we are interested in. And lately, we've transitioned into cybersecurity because we see that this is a fundamental area na useful din, really useful din sa inyo. Right? And an interesting topic kasi yung cybersecurity, to give you a quick overview, halos kailangan lahat alam mo yung yung scope ng ComSci. Next please. Next slide please. So here we are. So during nung walang pandemic, usually may pizza session kami. Bakit tayo may pizza dito? Birthday ba to ni Sir LK yata? So
ata sir.
so we have this is the lab. Meron tayong lab doon sa kung inabot niyo pa yon yung second floor.
Bawal kumain.
Ha?
Bawal kumain sa loob dapat.
Hindi, pwede dito sa dito classroom dito teaching classroom. But yan, ito yung mga members na meron tayo ngayon. Some of them umalis na, sila Ma'am Ivy, si Ma'am Rio, si Ma'am Ja, kung inabot niyo pa sila. So yan. So usually ito may mga activities kami para, again nga, to enhance our skills. Next please. So past ongoing projects, ito obsolete na to, but these are the things that I've personally worked on before, pero kumbaga expired na. So we have yung cloud setup na ginagamit before for ComSci 180, na kung saan yung cluster dito naka-host. Yan. Then ICSOS, hindi nyo nagamit siguro sa lab sa 125, but this coming semester we're going to use it para mayroong project yung mga estudyante sa ComSci 125. And then NetSim, some of you might have used this in a lab exercise in ComSci 137 kung saan para i-demonstrate or ma-experience nyo yung routing. Yun, so yun yung mga NetSim. There are other projects na ongoing pero hindi pa masyadong napapublish, but sila Ma'am Bethel, si Ma'am Mia, and the rest of the people, faculty members here in SRG, meron silang kanya-kanyang projects din na probably yung mga topics na kukunin nyo will be derived from the projects that they are working on. So, parang kumbaga ang style kasi namin dito, meron kaming malaking project, wala kaming time para gawin yon, pwede namin ibigay sa inyo kung interesado kayo doon, and then you can work on that. Okay, so that will be all for my part. Please reserve your questions later sa sa Q&A section. Thank you.
Ayan, so next naman natin ay yung SRG Guide to ComSci 190 or ComSci 200. So at this point, ngayon, di ba, nakapag-enroll na kayo, for most of you, I think nakapag-enroll na kayo sa 190 or 200 this semester. So ano ba yung mga pwede nyong i-expect or ano yung kailangan, sa tingin nyo kailangan yung gawin for this, starting this semester? Kasi usually 2 parts yung 190 or yung 200, di ba? Next slide. Ayan, so what is ComSci 190 or ComSci 200? So it's a course where students with senior standing develop a capstone project. So capstone project siya kasi typically yung application yon ng mga ComSci courses na nakuha nyo na. So since yung ComSci kasi, di ba, malaki yung field na yun, natututunan natin most of it or some of it dun sa mga ComSci courses na kinukuha natin. So from that, ano yung mga ideas na nakuha nyo or any interest dun sa mga fields na na-take natin dun sa mga courses na yun. Actually, including yung practicum, di ba? Possibly, meron kayong bagong natutunan doon. So from those experiences, ano yung possible ideas or problems na pwede natin gamitin to create a project. So yun yung ComSci 190 or 200. So yung usual daw na common, yung usual question or common question daw ay SP ba or thesis? Ayan. So nung gumawa kayo ng plan of study, natanong nyo ba sa sarili nyo kung SP ba or thesis yung inyong kukunin? Or napagtanong-tanong nyo ba siya? So dito sa ano no, dito for most of you, I think or hopefully lahat naman kayo ay nakapag accomplish ng plan of study. So yung plan of study kasi doon natin nilalagay kung sino yung magiging SP or thesis advisor natin. And doon din tayo pumipili kung SP or thesis ba yung or ComSci 190 or 200 ba yung iti-take natin. Ayan. Ayun. So, ano lang, quick question. Ayan, ano ba, survey to, napagtanong, ano ba, hindi ko, wait, ano nga yung term? Napagtanong-tanong nyo ba sa iba kung anong mas maganda, kung SP ba or thesis? Ayan, so, ano nga kayo ano mang reaction dito? Mag thumbs up, reaction nga kayo kapag, natanong nyo yung ibang mga kakilala nyo kung SP ba or thesis, kung alin doon yung magandang kunin. O diretso SP or diretso thesis na kayo. Agad. Ayan, so yung mga ayan, mga nagtanong. Ayan, okay lang yun. Kasi usually ganun din, kahit kami ganun din naman before. May question, SP ba or thesis. Ayan, so with the option that you chose, ayan, so bakit SP or bakit thesis yung pinili nyo? Meron mga gusto mag-share, wala namang maling sagot dito. No shame and walang magbabash. Ayan. So, ayan sa comments yun. Kung naiya kayo yan, pwede rin sa comments. Ayan, nakaka-delay daw yung thesis. Ayun, so, ayan, kung gusto daw ma-delay, mag-thesis daw. Ayan. So, no comment yan. Pero from naman yan, legit naman siguro na experience ng mga pinagtanungan nyo or yung mga kakilala ng mga pinagtanungan nyo. Ayan. So next slide. Ayan. So ano ba talaga yung SP or thesis? Usually, yung sa SP, it involves software development, documentation, and presentation of activities. Typically yun, meron tayong application wherein yun yung solution natin for a problem or a special problem. So usually yun yung SP. Pareho pa rin naman silang nag-involve ng research, but more on usually yung result ng SP would be an application that solves a specific problem or a special problem. Ayan. Pag thesis naman, so it involves extensive research or exploratory work. Yan. So may involve original research. So extensive lang yung research dito kasi usually we want to create we want to test a novel idea. Yan. And it usually involves yung experiments, conducting experiments, comparing ng results, analyzing, and for example, ano mang mas magandang methodology for this problem or to solve this problem. So you compare, you test everything, you compare them. So sometimes, pero not necessarily naman na you don't develop an application for thesis. So pwede rin naman. But it involves a more extensive research or usually yung novel ideas dun sa thesis. So yun lang yung sa tingin namin notable differences between SP and thesis. Pero since nakapili na rin naman kayo, di ba? Whichever din naman yung napili mo. Wala namang doon, wala namang mas maganda, wala namang mas pangit. Yung usually naman ang importante dyan ay kung bibigyan ng effort kung alin man yung pinili natin between those two. So yung SP man yan or yung thesis. Yun. Okay, next. So ano naman yung ComSci 190? Yan. So for most of you kasi yun yung pinili nyo na option, di ba? ComSci 190 SP. So yung 190 ay binubuo ng 190-1 tsaka 190-2. So 3 units sila in total. For ComSci 190-1, yun yung probably kinukuha nyo ngayon. Yun yung mga yun yung mga section A's. A1, A2, A3. So kung nakapag-enroll na kayo or nakapagawa na kayo ng COI, make sure pala na A yung section nyo, A something or A and then yung number. So yun yung ComSci 190-1. Yung ComSci 190-2 naman, yun yung mga B's. B sections sa size natin. So for both 190-1 and 190-2, paano na lang ha? Commercial lang to, but check lang sa size din if ever that you're enrolled. After nyo kasing piliin yung section, tatanungin pa kayo ng number of units. So make sure that if you're taking ComSci 190-1, pipiliin nyo yung 1 unit. And then for ComSci 190-2, pipiliin nyo yung 2 units. So balik tayo, ano ba yung SP1 or ComSci 190-1? It's the output for this is the SP proposal. So in-enroll siya during the first semester of your 4th year if you have been following yung flowchart natin for the BSCS curriculum. So SP proposal yung output dito. The end of the semester, within during the semester, yun yung gagawin natin. Or for you, yun yung gagawin nyo. You're going to create a proposal. Later, i-discuss din kung ano ba yung laman ng proposal na yun. More on, you will conduct research to be able to create yung proposal na yun. And then at the end of the sem, so you get to present it to a panel. If ever na may kailangan pang idagdag or kulang, masyadong kulang or masyadong malaki for a SEM na gawin. So, dun yun din na-discuss. And then, for ComSci 190-2 naman, yung output nun ay yung implementation na ng SP proposal. So, from the things that you mentioned sa proposal, ano yung mga gagawin nyo, ano yung result dapat nun. So, yung output nun, yun yung mapupunta sa SP2 or 190-2. Usually, application siya or prototype or any related artifacts na minention nyo dun sa proposal nyo. And enrolled naman siya after nung makuha yung ComSci 190-1. Ayun. So based on flowchart, based on 2018 curriculum, BSC's curriculum flowchart. So dahil kinukuha natin ng 4th year yon, yung 190 or kahit yung 200, may mga courses na kinukuha tayo at that semester din or at that academic year na pwedeng makatulong dun sa paggawa natin ng proposal. So yun na yung ComSci 199 tsaka N10. Yung 199, I think available din siya or offered siya for the semester. So probably lahat kayo ay kukuha din noon kayong semester. Siya ay nalimutan ko yung course description nito.
Undergraduate seminar?
Ayun, undergraduate seminar. Ayan. So you will be presenting existing projects dyan sa 191. So more on development of skills for presenting and also for research. Kasi syempre mag-research din kayo ng mga topics na interested kayo na gusto nyo rin i-present or possibly meron kayong pwedeng idagdag din doon sa any ideas na pwedeng idagdag doon sa nabasa nyo research. Yun. And then yung N10 naman ay for writing. So to be able to develop your skills in writing, especially technical writing. So for your SP proposal, N10 yung pwede nyong kunin doon. Yan. Next, yung SP committee. Yan. So within the institute, there are a lot of committees. So isa na doon yung SP committee. In charge yung SP committee sa mga details related to SP or even thesis. So sila yung nagsischedule ng defense. So for both the proposal and for the SP. And again, even thesis. And usually, ginagawa nila yon yung regular schedule of proposal or presentations. Usually, nilalagay nila yan near the end of the semester. So sila yung bahalang magbigay ng schedule, yung date, specific dates kung kailan pwedeng mag-present, yung regular schedule of presentation, and then sila din yung nag-a-assign ng panel members during the presentation. So regular, within the regular schedule of presentations. So yun yung goal natin, na hopefully matapos natin yon, and then once approved yung proposal niya by the advisor, ma-schedule tayo dun sa regular schedule ng presentation para meron ng automatically naka-assign na panel members at that time. Kasi kung hindi regular yung schedule, so medyo mahirapan tayo in finding the common time nung kukunin nyo na panel. And then lastly, headed to by a faculty member. So yung SP committee ay currently headed by Sir Coy Lapita. So if you have any concerns or kunyari meron kayong kakilala na din ngayon na hindi pa rin sure kung sino yung advisor na kukunin niya. Yun. So si Sir Coy, siya yung merong data regarding the advisors, possible advisors, and also yung field of expertise or interest ng mga advisors na yun. So, or anything related to SP. So you can email them for that.
May agda ako, Mamiya, before ako mag-proceed. Pwede ka magbalik doon sa flowchart. Yung sabi ni Ma'am Bel kanina, no, may relationship tong mga to, yung tatlong subjects na to. Kasi kung halimbawa naka-enroll kayo ngayon sa tatlong to, merong pressure sa inyo na makapag-come up agad ng topic. Kasi sa ENG10, minsan hihingan kayo ng approval ng teacher nyo sa ENG10 ng topic na permado ng advisor nyo. So that's important to remember. And yung Comsci 199 naman, depende sa instructor nyo. Si Sir Arjen, halimbawa, siya yung teacher nyo sa 199, pwedeng yung SP topic nyo na mapili yun yung papaan sa inyo, papa-report sa inyo sa seminar. So you have to somehow at least fast track yung pag-identify ng inyong topic. Yun lang, thank you.
Ayan. Medyo umina po yung net ko, sir. Sabihin niyo na lang po pag nawawala. Ayan, hello, nandyan pa ba kayo? So for this next slide, we are going to discuss the proposal outline. Ayan, you will discuss this in depth sa ENG10. And I think i-discuss din naman ito ng SP committee. Yung SP committee nga pala, sila ang nag-organize ng SP Orientation. And according to Sir Coy, nag-attend na daw kayo during your second year. Tama ba yun? Can you confirm? Yes, o ayan, nag-attend kayo. Pero tandaan nyo pa kaya yung mga diniscuss doon? Ayan, magkakaroon daw ulit. Hindi na po. Okay, so magkakaroon daw ulit according to Sir Coy. Pero tatapusin lang muna yung freshman orientation. Busy kasi yung mga tao. So maybe first week or second week of classes, there will be another SP orientation. And attend din kayo doon kasi medyo similar yung diniscuss namin dito, pero doon kasi specifics on submission sa GitHub, instructions on the formatting and all, ayan. So attend kayo nun. So for the SP proposal outline, which is your output for SP1, you would have to have this chapters. So we have of course, the title, Chapter 1, Introduction, Chapter 2, Review of Related Work, and Chapter 3, Materials and Methods or Methodology, and of course, your references. So ito yung usual na outline wherein for the introduction, you have your background of the study, statement of the problem, significance, objectives, and scope and limitation. So maganda na ngayon pa lang, iniisip nyo na to kasi sabi nga ni Sir Jack, sa ENG10, ito din yung hihingin sa inyo. Yung output nyo, kumbaga, less polished lang sa ENG10 kasi hindi naman nila naiintindihan yung technicalities nun, diba? More on writing yung titignan nila doon. Pero kasi sa SP1, yung content na talaga yung titignan and yung methodology, how you're planning to do it. Okay? So, question so far?
Mag-chat lang kayo sa chat box. Ay, may QA daw pala tayo mamaya, Q&A. So for the format, merong provided ang SRG. Pero sir, wala bang provided ang SP committee? Nalimutan kong itanong.
Ano yun?
Wala po bang provided ang SP committee na format?
Ay, yung old
LaTeX.
pa rin. Ito pa rin.
Ito din po yun. Ayan.
So, ito pa rin.
Ayan. So, mamaya ipapakita to dun sa succeeding slides, yung GitHub repo wherein you can find this LaTeX template. Okay? Para you won't have to start from scratch. And di ba may experience na naman kayo ng pagle-LaTeX? Tama ba? Sa ComSci 170, di ba? Ayan. Di ba pinramis natin yon? Gagamitin nyo yan sa SP1. Scene lang, scene. Okay. So next is one of the biggest hurdles, 'di ba, when you start your SP is finding the topic, 'di ba? Yun yung sabi ni Sir kanina. Where do I get my topic? And kayo ba usually, bago ko pala 'to ipakita, saan kayo nagkaroon ng idea why you want that certain area or why that certain topic? Magtatawag tayo para may participation. Si Jaire. Hindi tayo. Jaire, are you there?
Hello po.
Ano nga yung sagot mo kanina? You said?
Automation tools po ng security checking for
Ayan.
DevSecOps.
Saan ka nakakuha ng idea?
Sa internship po namin.
Okay. Internship. Ayan, good. So, that's one possible source, yung internship nyo. So, thank you, Jaire. Next, another one, last one na, si Robbie. Sa'yo ay cybersecurity din ba nga ba sa'yo? Sure.
But more on network security.
Network security. So where did you get that idea?
Sa Reddit po.
Sa Reddit, okay. So looking at online resources, ayan. So yun, thank you, Robbie. Yung iba, diba, while taking a certain course, ganyan. So maraming possible. And ito yung mga suggestions pa kung saan pa kayo makakahanap ng topics ninyo. One possible is the pool of topics of your advisors, kung meron. So if your advisor has a pool of topics from, for example, his or her research work, yung mga subset nung ginagawa niya, possible niyang i-offer sa inyo. Syempre kung gusto niyo lang naman. And okay naman meron siyang involvement sa isang project. So usually meron siyang mga topics na pwedeng i-offer sa inyo. So usually i-offer naman yun ng advisor niyo kung meron sila, or pwede niyo ring tanungin. But kung wala man, meron pa tayong other possible sources like past SP reports or journals. So itong pangalawang nakalagay dito. So ito ay major din na pwede ninyong source. Yung mga dating SP, syempre saan ka pa ba magbe-base? Syempre yung mga naunang nakakompleto na, graduate na, di ba? So you will have an idea from their recommendations at the end of their SP journals or articles. So you will have an idea there ano yung hindi nila nagawa pa or gusto nila na sana additional to their research. Ayan. So it's important to check past SP reports. The problem now is wala yata kayong access ngayon nun. Before kasi during our time, hindi naman katagalan, Pero ICS library kasi yung source namin. Talagang pupunta kami sa ICS library, bubuklatin namin yung mga compilation doon. Sobrang talaga, printed yung source. So, when the pandemic came, di ba, naging online na lang yata, I think, yung submission ng mga SP. I think the source code is uploaded on GitHub or dun sinasubmit, and then yung journals ay online na lang din. So I think Sir Jack is leading a way to deploy a system for you to be able to access it. Tama ba, Sir Jack? Yun, kasi para ma-access nyo, ma-access nyo yung mga dating SP.
Actually, yung mga project nila sa 128, kung nag-128 kayo, ang project niya yata ay search engine So may ini-evaluate akong ibang sections kung possible for deployment para magamit.
Okay. Ayan, thank you sir. So yun yung efforts ngayon na yung ICS Live sir, yung ano nila nung 128 ICS Live. So may ano din doon parang system to access resources kagaya ng SP niya. So that's another one. And we have clients. Ito maganda din to, yung clients like your internship nga, sabi ni Jaire. Kasi pag may client ka, what's one good thing is meron ka ng idea talaga of what the client wants. Unlike kung ikaw mag-isip on your own, you would set your own functionalities, limitations, scope, diba? Of course, the advisor will help you, your advisor will help you. But if you have a client, mas madali siyang, kumbaga, makonstruct or makita talaga yung overview ng gusto mong gawin. 'Di ba kasi alam niya, itong system yung gusto ko, itong app gusto ko ganito para for this, ganyan, and ito yung mga functionalities na hinahanap ko. So, if you can find a client or if you can partner with some clients to work with you, na kayo yung gagawa as your SP, maganda din yon. Okay? So, ayan. And other possible sources, recent trends and technologies. So kung ano yung mga na-explore nyo while surfing or while working on your own projects, yung, I believe yung ibang mga orgs, meron silang mga sarili nilang mga wino-work on, ganyan. So pag may na-explore ka na recent new trends, ayan, pwede din yan. So usually gusto ng mga nag-research ngayon yung mga bago, di ba? Yung mga in or yung yun, isa sa in ngayon nun ay napakaganda yung area ni Sir Enimam Betel, di ba, yung cyber security. So yun, yung mga ganon. And lastly, we also have scientific literature. So journals, proceedings, research work of people in computer science, di ba? So sa SRG site, hindi ko pala mapapakita kasi I'm the one sharing screen, pero kasi check nyo na lang dun sa link na ipoprovide din naman sa inyo or nandun siguro sa ating Slack. There are links there for the proceedings ng mga journals, some of the journals. So, pwede nyo yung i-access para makita nyo kung meron kayong certain topic na meron na kayong interested to a certain topic. For example, ay cybersecurity nga or robotics or language learning, ganyan, di ba? You can look at the existing research work on that certain topic and you can read on that. Ayun. So, yun yung mga possible na pagkuhaan ninyo ng topic. Okay? So, I will proceed.
Ma'am Mia, excuse me.
Yes, sir.
Pwede bang mag-group picture muna tayo kasi aalis ako ng maaga. May meeting pa siya pupuntahan.
Anong oras yung maaga, sir?
Iiwanan ko kayo ni Ma'am Betel. Guys, students can pwede ba mag-group picture if you want to show your face for documentation. Sorry, may meeting kasi ako eh. Ma'am Betel, can you take our picture?
Okay, sir. Wait lang.
Documentation.
Pwedeng pa, Mia, stop share.
Stop share.
Kung okay sa inyo, no problem. Not
Kaya ba today? Sure.
Ayan. Okay, ready na ba ang lahat?
Hindi pa.
Nagbilang ka ba?
Wala, hindi pa ako nagsa-start. Teka. Okay, ready na ba? How about yung iba? Pwede ba kayong turn on ang cam?
Ayun. Vicky.
Kung kaya lang naman. Okay,
Hindi kinakaya ng ko yun.
Ngumiti ka na para pag nag-freeze. Ganun pa rin. Okay. Ayan, ready? 1, 2. Wait lang ha. 1, 2. Alright.
Okay, thank you everyone.
Isa pa, sir. Wait lang.
Isa pa?
Para sure.
Okay.
Okay. Ayan. 1, 2. Alright.
Thank you everyone. Sila Ma'am Beta na ang bahala. May meeting pa sa pupuntahan. Thank you everyone. See you later.
Bye, sir.
Pero aalis ka na?
May meeting ako ng 4. Kaya nyo na yan.
Kaya nyo na yan.
Sige po. Ayan. Okay, so naka-share pa ba, Betel?
Yes.
Okay, so narrowing your topic. Ayan. You have to narrow down your topic in such a way that it would still be worth an SP or a thesis, 'di ba? Pero hindi naman syempre sobrang laki ng scope din, 'di ba? Your topic may be too broad na hindi na siya posible kahit sa pinakamagaling or kahit sa or hindi siya ideal for a certain student who is taking ComSci 190. So you have to determine if what you really want to have as your output, for example, a mobile or a web application, 'di ba? Kung alin lang doon or kung kakayanin ba ng both, 'di ba? So you have to narrow down your topic, and to do that, you have to read survey papers. Ayan, you will do a lot of reading sa SP1. Yun yung common na challenge for some of the students kasi gusto lang nila mag-code. Yung ibang students, gusto ko lang mag-code, ma'am, gusto ko lang gumawa ng app. 'Di ba? Gusto ko lang mag-build and all. Pero hindi kasi pwede because you have your paper output, 'di ba? You have to read, you have to write, 'di ba? Which is as important as developing the output or the application itself. So you have to read survey papers. Survey papers ay parang general siya on a certain topic. For example, drones, ganyan. You can read on the developments in drones and drone applications, ganyan. So, ganun yung mga survey papers. Ano ba yung naging evolution through time, yung different applications niya on different fields, ganyan. General siya, and madali siya usually basahin yung survey papers. It gives you a general idea of your topic. Now, you can stop there. You have to read more specialized papers. For example, aerial drones for photography, or aerial drones for food delivery or blood delivery. So, yung mga specific na topics and how the researchers were able to develop the system or the application or the platform or whatever that is, yung specifics nun, kailangan nyo ding malaman. Kaya specialized papers naman yung kailangan nyo ding i-explore because you would have to know the details, diba? The specifics, the technicalities, how the researchers were able to come up with their output. And yun kasi yung madalas magiging basis nyo for your methodology. Hindi kayo makapagsulat ng methodology na hindi mo naman alam paano siya ginawa ng mga tao na nauna sa'yo. Diba? You can just decide on your own, ito kasi yung gusto kong gamitin. And you will learn that in writing sa Engten, I think. So, how do you write your RRL and methodology related to your RRL? So, ayun, you would have to really read. Ayan, di ba? And maraming ganyang means na hindi lang ida-download ang scientific papers, you have to read. Sobrang guilty. Okay. So, ayan. And then, bakit umalis to si Sir? May research highlights pa. Hindi namin alam tong ibang part dito. So, for the research highlights, hindi naman dahil bongga siya. No? Gusto lang namin i-share sa inyo what we can share because these are the projects or the research that we have been working on. So, hindi namin madidiscuss tong dalawa nasa unahan kasi umalis si Sir. Pero, makikita niyo to sa SRG site. And I think itong pangalawa ay published to online. So, pag sinearch nyo yung title, lalabas naman usually yung mga publication para makita nyo kung about saan yan. Okay, so ako muna, Tebeta, ako pala na unang nakalista dito. Para lang magka-idea kayo, ano yung research na wino-work on namin sa SRG. So ito kasi distance, UAV din to, unmanned aerial vehicle, yung nauna. Kay Sir naman ay cloud computing, itong OSV-MPI. Itong sa akin ay autonomous surface vehicle. So ano naman din to, drones din to, platform for water quality monitoring. So this is my MS thesis. And what we have developed here, so sa SRG ko din to nagawa within the guidance of SRG, Sir Jack, di ba? And what's good nga din about SRG is, yun nga, yung resources as well as yung guidance. Hopefully makuha nyo dito na nakuha din naman namin during our MS. So, eto, autonomous surface vehicle, magdi-discuss ba tayo ng specifics? Basta parang, ano siya, for water quality monitoring sa mga lakes. So, you have your boat, small boat, na you have your sensors attached to it. And I created a platform wherein you only have your workstation and you can plot the area where you want to get the water quality points in the lake. Ayan, kasi currently ginagawa yun manually, yung pag test ng water quality sa mga lake. So may mga nagbo-boat na pumupunta doon, tapos dinulublob nila yung sensors to be able to get the temperature, humidity, ganyan, pH, and so on. So in-automate siya, and may output ka na boat na gumagawa nun. So automated, pupunta yung ASV on those specific points, and ibabato niya dun sa cloud yung data. So para hindi ang limitation nung research ko is up until storage of the data to the database pa lang, wala pa nung visualization. Pero hanggang doon, storing of data and yung pinaka-automation, yun yung focus ng research, yung automation and yung instrumentation kasi nga may output na both. So gumamit ng sensors, ganyan, temperature, pH, ayan. So yun yung mga kinukuha kasi yun yung usually nagbibigay ng idea if the lake might have anong tawag doon? Fish kill. Ayan, fish kill occurrences. So it will help the officials have an idea na parang later on pwede siyang integrate to a prediction system na possible magka-lake due to the high levels of sulfur or high dissolved oxygen, ganyan. Low dissolved oxygen pala, ayan. So yun, this is my MS thesis because my minor is environmental science. So related siya sa environmental problems. Ayan, so kung kayo interested kayo sa drones, ganyan, ayan, sa mga dito ko din kasi nakuha sa SRG yung ginamit kong drone. Syempre mahirap lang tayo, di ba? Tapos may grant lang tayo, pero yung pinaka-brain na ginamit ko was pahiram. Ano man ang English sa pahiram? Lent to me by SRG. Ayan, so yun, that's for my research. Ikaw na, Bethel.
Ayan. So, yung sa akin naman ay, so walang mga, walang mga votes na involved dito. Ano lang, IT stuff lang. So, since yung minor ko kasi ay IT, master in computer science, minor in IT. So, yung akin ay detection and classification of malicious traffic over the Tor network. So, if you're familiar with Tor, anonymity tool siya. Possibly, for some of you, baka nagamit nyo na yun, or meron ding application na pwedeng gamitin for na Tor as anonymity tool. Okay. So, para lang ma-hide yung pag-access nyo on services online. Ayan. Or pumunta dun sa mga unindexed locations web or yun nga, deep web. Ayan. So, Tor yung ginagamit. So, may concept ng onion routing yung ginagamit or yung Tor, yung application na yun. So, from that, yung ginawa ko kasi sa study ko ay actually, pwede nyo rin itong marami kasing pwede pang gawin dun sa ginawa ko na study. So, 3 parts kasi yung ginawa ko for that. So, yung una ay nag-generate ng dataset, which is very, very useful for research. Kasi, di ba, minsan kapag gumagawa tayo ng applications, kailangan natin siya i-test. So, kasi natin siya i-test. So, usually, may mga online available na dataset for different problems. For my problem, I needed to create my own dataset, which can be created into another paper for that dataset kung paano ko siya ginawa. So may mga specific steps or process pa on how I generated my dataset. So yung Tor dataset na yun, ngayon, kung ano yung mga itetest ko, paano ko, yung mga flows or yung mga puppets na nag-undergo ng tour at yung mga hindi nag-undergo ng tour. So, yun basically yung data set ko, and of different types of data set, pwedeng web, mail, chat, ganun, and so on. Yung pangalawang part naman nun ay yung pag-classify. So, yung sa classification naman, iba-iba rin eh. So, meron tayong different ways. Machine learning. So, nag-test ako ng different types of classifiers for that. Meron pa rin, and as you know, kung alam niyo yung di ba, sa machine learning, so may features pa yan. So, affected pa yung features kasi pwedeng iba-iba rin. But from previous studies, so kinuha ko yung features na to na pwedeng gamitin for traffic classification, and then applied different machine learning techniques. Then compared yung result ng mga yon. And then lastly ay yung system that would automate the computational workflow. Kaya sabi ko nga kanina, not necessarily naman na hindi pwedeng mag-create ng application for thesis. So, dun sa third part nung MS thesis ko would be to develop a system to automate yung workflow na yan. So, given na ito yung packets, pag feed mo yun dun sa system, pipili ka nung classifier gusto mo. So, and then yun, bibigyan niya yung result kung ano man siya, kung kung anong traffic siya, kung malware ba siya. So, nalimutan ko pala, nag-involve din pala to ng malware. So, malicious traffic kasi yung nasa title. So, kung regular traffic ba siya, na under ng Tor, or malicious traffic ba siya, may malware involved ba doon, under doon sa Tor network, which is very hard to identify kung under ng Tor yung packets na yun. So, yun yung ginawa ng aking thesis. Yeah.
Thank you, Ma'am Bethel. So, ayun, baka nagka-idea kayo na ito pwede itong related doon na gusto kong gawin. Ayan. So, marami pa sana. Dapat i-mention si Sir ng mga highlights. Pero, ayan. Saka na lang siguro. So, Bethel, sa'yo na ba to?
Sige. Ayan, ano lang naman, mga software development best practices din. Kasi most likely din naman ay you will be developing a system or an application for your SP. And so mga things na you can do as early or can take note as early as possible. Version control system, writing tests or framework. So kung nag-want to it kayo, di ba, may mga types of testing pa yan. Para lang ma-ensure natin na as you develop further yung system nyo. So walang even dun sa mga units ng application nyo. So wala namang problema dun. Related dun din to sa sa VCS. So kung magigit kayo or GitHub, ba yung documentation, pwede doon, yung tracking, and so on. So design patterns and other best practices. Containers, if you're familiar with Docker or VirtualBox, so para malang madaling i-deploy yung system nyo at the end of, kung nagawa nyo na yung SP. And then, apply security best practices. So since, ayan, marami sa inyo, di ba, nagbanggit ng security, ayan. So as you go on into developing the system, so i-apply na natin yun kasi yung security ay hindi naman yan sa dulo. Usually sa simula talaga. As you go and as you develop the system, meron na yan. Pwede nang ilagay yan. Good. Yan lang yung sample na repo template na meron tayo. Kasi at the end din ng SP stage, SP1, SP2. Yung SP committee din kasi sila din yung magbibigay ng guidelines kung paano kayo magsasubmit. So usually naka-repo na yan, di ba? Dati kasi CD. And so ngayon mas madali at mas accessible kung nasa siya version control software. So yan, meron tayong sample repo. Yan, writing. Next ay writing. Mamiya.
Bakit? Nagtuturo. Okay. Andiyan pa ba kayo? Parang OT na tayo. Gano'ng oras ba 'to, Ate Bethel?
Hindi ko alam. Pero parang second to the last na naman yata to.
Okay. So, for writing, ayan, kasi nga you will do a lot of reading and sabi natin kanina, writing din. So, you have to improve your writing skills by reading well-written research papers because what you read, di ba, na-imbibe nyo yon yung writing style nun, yung organization. Ayan, so kailangan nagbabasa talaga kayo ng mga well-written research papers. And review English syntax and semantics. Check Purdue Online Writing Lab. Kay sir na slide to, kaya hindi ko alam tong sinasabi niya dito. Pero yung common lang naman na you have to review your English syntax and semantics kasi on my experience sa mga ComSci students, marami din talaga ang kumbaga hindi na nila na-check to. Halimbawa, may reports, ganyan, or mga writing output sa mga subjects nila. Kasi nga, mostly coding yung output. So, hindi na nila nabibigyan pansin kapag yung nila, yung output nila ay essay or reports nga, kagaya ng mga ginawa nyo dati sa 170. Ayan, yung ganun. Technical writing is different from creative writing. Ayan, so important to and for sure sa high school ninyo, inaral nyo to, di ba? Kaya lang, merong iba na yung nagiging writing nila for SP ay parang nagiging creative writing. So dapat iaaralin nyo din naman to sa, sabi ko nga sa ENG 10, di ba? Yung technical writing, yung tone, di ba? The words that you use, di ba? As compared to creative writing or literary writing. So, ayan. Create a blog and write entries regularly. Diba? So, ito ay hindi naman siya requirement. Siguro depende sa advisor nyo. Pero maganda kasi na nagka-create kayo ng blog ng mga updates nyo about your progress in your SP. Siguro mas applicable to kapag nag-SP2 na kayo, yung nagde-develop na talaga kayo ng system. Pero pwede rin naman kahit SP1. Pero kasi pag nagde-develop na kayo ng system, for example, nagawa ko na yung schema, ganyan, or prepare ko na yung database, ganyan. So parang nagkakaroon ka ng progression. Di ba sabi nga nila, yung hindi yung big steps agad sa ladder, kung hindi yung kahit yung paunti-unti. So one perks nito is you will have that idea of or that feeling of accomplishment na day by day or week by week you do something and you accomplish something. So create a blog. Ayan. And learn LaTeX, of course. Meron tayong online editor, LaTeX editor, Overleaf or TechMaker, pwede din naman. So, recommended namin tong Overleaf. Maganda din siya gamitin. So, ayan. Nakagawa na naman kayo ng LaTeX before. So, review na lang, kumbaga. And then, explore other tools like Grammarly or Turnitin. Diba? Turnitin, kakailanganin nyo to kasi at the end of your output, usually, the advisor would ask you to check it in Turnitin. Kasi kung may mga certain excerpts na unintentionally nakuha mo as word for word dun sa sa other research works, so na-identify yun ng Turnitin. So it will help you na itong mga parts na to kailangan kong i-paraphrase, ganyan, or i-rewrite. Okay? So ayan. Tips, common tips naman ito. Consult your advisor, discuss progress, address technical difficulties. So sabi ni Sir Jack, huwag niyong gagawin yun ha, yung magpapakita lang kayo pagkapapirma ng COI tsaka pag magpe-present na. So, merong mabait na advisor na papayagan kayo mag-present, pero merong advisor na kung hindi ka nagpakita, hindi ka papapresentin kahit nagawa mo pa yung gusto mong gawin. Siyempre, wala siyang idea dun sa ginawa mo. So, I think gano'n naman gagawin namin ni Ate Bethel, di ba? Magpapakita kayo sa amin or magko-consult. Secondly, manage your time. So, create SP calendar, set achievable weekly goals. So, Gantt chart, ganyan. So, gawa kayo ng schedule para mas maging realistic yung pag-achieve nyo na matapos yung SP proposal. And deliver requirements, submit on time. So, kapag nakapag-submit kayo within the schedule of the SP committee, meron kayong panel. Pero kapag lumampas kayo doon, pwede kayong payagan ng advisor niyo to present, but you would find your own panel. And that is quite additional work kasi syempre, kailangan mong alamin yung availability ng ng mga faculty. So, mas okay na mag-present during the schedule na merong available panel. Okay? So, your success will depend on you, caps lock. Okay? So, ayan. May additional tips ka ba, ma'am?
Well, wala naman, pero sabi mo nga kanina, we will meet you then many times during itong semester. So iba-iba naman, we are still in SRG, pero for different advisors din, iba-iba din naman yung pwedeng maging monitoring. So for us, I think for us, we will have deadlines. So para din ma-meet natin, ma-ensure natin na at the end of the semester doon sa before yung presentation. So at least alam na natin kung ilang percent or talagang may progress doon sa paggawa natin ng test.
Okay. Sabi mo last 2 slides na, Betel. Next. Beyond SP thesis, recommendation letters. Kay sir na to eh.
Oo. Pero ano lang naman yan, more on siguro relationship lang with
your advisor.
Your advisor. So for
interact
work, for
well.
Oo, kasi
Interact well with your advisor.
Ano naman more on aside from the technical stuff, it's also the non-technical things na minsan na natatandaan. So if you're for example, if you will plan to work or to go to graduate school first, so usually may mga recommendation letters yan, diba? Yan.
Ayun. So, kumbaga yung relationship daw ng advisor-advisee doesn't end with SP or thesis or graduation. Diba? We may have certain interactions afterwards, which is important. Kaya mahalaga na during your stay as our advisee, we will be able to have a good interaction. Diba? Ayan. Or relevant interaction para may malalagay kami sa recommendation letter. Ayan. Ayan, sa wakas, talk to us. We have a Slack channel, workspace, nandun na rin naman yata kayo. And here are our emails, pero mas mabilis pag doon kayo sa Slack mag-direct message sa amin. Ayun, so we have Q&A. Betel.
Siguro very, meron ba kayong questions? So
Meron
far?
kayong questions? Message nyo naman or pwede nyo rin itanong ng audio. Meron kayong clarification?
Yeah.
Nan daw. Yung iba. Ako wala. Wala? Okay. Ano pong possible grade? Na-discuss ba natin yun? Hindi yata. Ang grade nyo for ST1 ay S or U. Di ba 1 unit yung SP1? Ang grade nyo ay S or U. S is for satisfactory, U for unsatisfactory. And kapag na-U kayo, you would have to re-enroll SP1. Okay? So, magkaka-S lang kayo kapag nakapag-present kayo and then in-accept ng panel nyo and ng advisor nyo, pwedeng with revisions, ganyan. Pero, dun lang kayo magkaka-S. If you get a U, magre-enroll kayo, so madedelay kayo because you would have to do your SP1 again and then next sem pa ulit yung SP2. So, ang goal nyo ay ma-S for SP1. Okay? Walang tanong. Clear naman lahat. Ano pong other requirements aside proposal for SP1? The Betel. Ma'am Betel pala.
Ano sa mga requirements? Usually, mainly lang naman din ay proposal. For other requirements, i-discuss lang din yon ng SP committee. Pero ano lang yun, those are things related din dun sa proposal. probably baka ano na yun eh, yung mga additional requirements or yung other requirements ay pag sa SP2 na yung mga poster, mga ganon. Journal, manuscript, kung thesis, yun. But mainly, SP proposal yung requirement nyo for SP1. Yan. So, kailangan, hindi, nabanggit mo ba? Hindi ko maalala. But for your SP proposal kasi, so, yun nga, pinakang gagawin talaga doon ay magbasa ng magbasa. Kasi sa dami na babasahin nyo, so, doon manggagaling yung isusulat nyo or idea ng isusulat nyo. So, kailangan maraming references din talaga na ilagay doon sa SP proposal nyo. Kasi yun nga, kailangan ma-research din siyang mabuti. So, hindi lang pwedeng, yung mga ilalagay doon, hindi lang pwedeng basta, may reason lagi. Kasi tatanungin yan usually sa presentation. Eh. Bakit ito yung pinili mo? Kunyari, kung meron kang classifier, bakit ito yung pinili mong classifier? Ganyan. Hindi pwedeng gusto mo lang. Hindi pwedeng, ano lang siya, sikat, ganyan. Hindi pwedeng ganon. So, kailangan meron yang basis. So, usually yung mga previous research, dun manggagaling yun. So, based from this study, ganyan. So, itong mga research na to, in terms of this problem, ito yung usually na ginagamit. So, ayun. And then from that, pwede naman kayong mag-add ng additional things na pwede nyong itry na hindi pa natatry ng iba. But for most of the things na ginagamit nyo dyan, dapat may basis lagi. So, kailangan talaga ng maraming basahin.
Ayan.
Itlong
So,
tao.
ayun. Code, balik code, yung article, yung proposal na naka-LaTeX, and presentation. Usually, yun yung main na kailangan yung na requirement nyo to pass SB1. And i-orient kayo ng SP committee for that, yung specifics na. Jess, ayan, meron pang other questions. Is there anywhere we can access previous ICS SPs and thesis? Ito yung nabanggit ko kanina. Meron sa SRG site. Nasaan ba yung ano natin? May link ka ba dyan, Tebetel?
Wala eh.
Teka, nandito yun sa slides natin. I-send ko dito sa chat, pero provide na lang din namin sa ano natin.
Yeah, for now, medyo mahirap lang talagang kunin lahat. I think hindi pa din yata nakuha din lahat ng mga previous SPR thesis na record natin sa library.
Oo, ito yung diniscuss ko kanina na gumagawa ng way ang ICS spearheaded by Sir Jack to deploy a system that would allow you to access previous SP. And related yun dun sa 128 project nyo, ng batch nyo yun, di ba? Yung gumawa ng ICS live system. So, yun, pag na-deploy yun, you will be able to access. But for now, pwede nyo i-search yung mga title. Title lang kasi nakalagay dito sa site ng SRG eh. So, i-search nyo kung masasearch nyo siya online. Kasi usually nasa siya, mga journals na publish naman siya. Ayun. Kung hindi man, hingi kayo sa advisor nyo ng mga kopya ng mga articles kung meron sila. Ayun. And another question. Nasa tamang grupo ba ako? Puro systems. Puro systems daw yung topic ng iba. Okay lang yun. Okay. Kung hindi systems or security yung topic mo, depende yun sa advisor mo naman kung i-allow ka niya. And kumbaga kahit naman hindi systems, we can still accommodate, diba? Kasi we're still teaching other subjects naman. So, kung tinanggap ka ng advisor mo, edi she's willing to guide you through your topic even though it's not from systems. Ayun. And hindi mawawalan. Actually, merong systems component yan or meron yan, may makikita ka. Yung akin nga dati, yung parang sabi ko dati, sa to dapat? Sa robotics lang. Pero nakakita rin ako kasi din naman ako, nag-systems din ako dun sa certain part ng ginawa ko. So meron yan. Other questions? 4:20 na. The better. Meron pa ba?
May hahawal pa ba bago tayo mag-end? Sabihin niyo na. Pero naman, if ever na may pahabol naman kayo na question, Meron namang may Slack naman tayo. So parang din for easier na communications. Meron mang biglang dumating sa inyo na question. So tanong nyo lang din doon. Ayun.
Ayun.
So I think pwede na natin i-end yung
Yeah.
ating orientation. Ayan. So thank you. Thank you for
Thank you.
attending. And hopefully magkaroon tayo ng pizza. Virtual pizza muna.
Virtual pizza. Paano yun? Ba't wala ako? Ayun pala.
Tingnan mo, hinanap ko din tuloy.
Inanap ko, hindi ko siya makita. Fries na lang.
Ayan, anyway. So hopefully magkaroon tayo ng maayos na na communication din during this semester. Diba? Para para on time at para hindi tayo stress. So progress, kahit lang, small progress, tuloy-tuloy lang natin yun. Yun.
So, sige, we are going to release you. Thank you so much for coming and we're glad to see you. Ang tagal na nung huli namin kayo makita.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thank you po.
Thank you po, ma'am.
Keep safe po.
Thank you po.
Safe.
Bye-bye.